Yo, what's going on, everyone? We'll get started in like a minute or two. A little bit of a late stream, later than I normally stream, but I wanted to write some code, so, you know, I don't have a job, so nothing's stopping me. Also, if you are watching on Twitch and you're trying to be the first person to chat, technically Atomic Being has won. They were the first person to chat. But there is a redeem I have called First. So you should go ahead and redeem that. And then if that one's already redeemed, you can redeem Second. If that one's already redeemed, you can redeem Third. And then when you've done all that, you will show up here on the leaderboard. Powered by the Bash Stack. So, yeah, if you're on Twitch, you can do the redeems. I don't have anything for YouTube, because I don't really know how this works. Bad Cop just figured it out for me. Live intro tracks, the way to go? Yeah, that's what I like to do. Let's do this. So, we're going to write a little bit of code tonight. Probably won't stream super long, but we're going to write some code. And I think that'll be fun. Is there light coming in from the windows to your right? There shouldn't be. It is absolutely dark out here. Oh, I shouldn't play piano right now because I can't actually hear it. I know you guys can hear it, but I can't hear it, so. This is so weird. I can't actually hear what I'm playing. Does it sound good? Yeah, I can't hear that, so I hope it sounds good. It's pretty funny. Alright, so we're going to be writing some Rust code today. Last time we streamed, we were working on a little bit of an event server, so this is just going to be a part 2 to that. So, day 2, I am renewed, and we're going to figure out where we left off, because I don't remember exactly where we were. A lot of to-dos, that's so fun. I do remember I was going to take some time to learn how to do multiple panes in tmux, so I could run the server and curl against at the same time, but I never figured that out. So let me rephrase, I never took the time to do that. So we're just going to do it how we've been doing it before. So I think if you run this, it just creates the server. Yeah, that makes sense. And then if I go over here, I can curl localhost 3000 and it just says name equal Dave. Cool. Events, and it gives me the list of events, and I think I could post to it as well. Probably have that in my history. I do have that in my history. Wow, that's horrendous. There we go. Okay, so everything still works how we expect it to. Awesome. So let's figure out what we actually want to do. Let me put some comments here just so I don't forget. We may have to change how some of these are, but because I don't love all this, let's clean this up a little bit. Especially because I don't even use this kind of style, but whatever. Yeah, I like the standard stuff up here, and then the crates down here. What was it? There we go. What's up, bud? Nothing much. How you doing? Hello, guys. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, welcome in. Yeah, a little bit of an impromptu stream, but I just got the urge to code, you know? Rust, yeah, we're writing Rust. It's a cool language, I like it. Yo, Greets, what's up? What's up? How you doing? Toon Army Captain. Nice muscles, bro. Yeah, I'll do a I should do a video where we just go lift. I just go bench. Maybe we'll you know, I got some weights back there. We go pump some iron. First programmer that lifts, I don't know about that. There's definitely some strong programmers out there. Hi from Ethiopia. Yo, what's up? Welcome, welcome. I guess we could clean up what we have here. So we have the get index. Get index should probably, technically speaking, probably not even return anything, if we're being honest. We could clean that up later, but we should probably not return anything here. We could just add, we can make this ping. So let's change this to ping, get ping, and ping should just return a very simple JSON of Pong. There we go. Lokiabu. Hello, Dave. Yo, what's up? How you doing? Welcome. So if we run this, cargo run, we go over to this page over here, we should be able to slash ping, and we get Pong. Perfect. I like that. I think that's good. I would like if we could just append a new line to it, but I'm sure there's probably some way. I know Axum has, what is it, like some middleware stuff, so there's probably an easy way to, well, I shouldn't say easy way. There's probably a way to do that. Who knows what it's actually like. We don't have any UUIDs for this. Dispatch to an X. We have a whole bunch of to-dos here. Okay, wow. I do remember one of the issues we had here was our shared state puts an arc over this, and then we serialize it ourselves in the get events. Yeah, we acquire the lock, we serialize itself, and then we just return a string. I've been thinking about this. I looked up some ways to do this. It seems like separating the backend storage and what we actually give to the user through the view or whatever you want to call it, it should just actually be copied over. It seems like the right way to do it is literally just clone the data. So I'm sure what I have here is a nice little optimization. If in the future this mattered, maybe even on event ingest we could serialize it. That seems excessive. Either way, I don't mind just cloning it. It's just a bunch of strings. So I mean, there's going to be some Alex and stuff there. Not a big deal. I might make that modification. Let's actually just make that modification now, right? We can just return a JSON of a vec of event. I think that should be good enough. So this should fail to compile now because we gave it a string and not that. Awesome. So now we can do this. We can acquire the lock. I wonder if we should just lock the whole thing. Let's just do this first. So we acquire the lock, we get it, we have the events now here, but we need to just clone that. I think that's all we need to do. Now in order to do that though, our event struct, which is here, we'll also need to derive clone. This should be fine because it just contains strings. So I think this will work. So we've pulled all the events out of there. Now that we've done that, all we need to do is just return them here. Cargo Clippy might actually yell at us, but let's just make sure this compiles. And it does not compile. Oh, because I'm just returning events. I think I need to return a JSON of events. And it might not like the star notation that I'm doing. We'll have to mess with that. Oh, yeah. How about we put a semicolon here? Doesn't have a size known at compile time. Oh, interesting. You know what? Hold on. I like this better. What do we want to do? We don't have much internal state to keep track of. We could just lock all of the internal state and not have to worry about the read-write lock stuff. I am a Rust babe. Seems like you've 2 comment notations. Oh, no. So this pound sign is actually like not a comment. This is just I don't know what you would even call. I don't know what this notation is actually called, but you can just put things here like derive things. You can sort of like decorate your structs. There are 2 comment types where you have / and /. You also have this classic kind of comment where you have comment 1 here, but you also have this. Notice that they're like a different color. Python, I think, has something similar where you use like this kind of thing to comment something. This is a comment that is completely discarded. This is just meant for the programmer. The blue one, the comment 1, the one I've highlighted. This one actually gets pulled into the doc. So there are some specific rules about how that has to be parsed and stuff. Same thing as below. This is just going to be thrown away completely for the programmer. And the one below it actually needs to have some sort of form to it because it's going to be passed through like Rust doc or whatever. Yeah, the attributes. Yeah, that's probably what you would call them. That makes sense. Hi, Dave, listening in. You rock, man. Yo, welcome. Glad to hear it. Yeah, welcome all the lurkers. Lurkers, you are totally awesome. I love you guys. Feel free to just hang out and listen to me talk and basically talk to myself. I don't mind. Does your editor help you on what line of code return? No, my editor is pretty bare bones, really. I feel like it does too much, but it's pretty bare bones. When is the IRL Bad Cop collab? Listen, not going to spoil anything, but sooner rather than later. Like, sometime over the summer. I'll let you know when we have more information, but yeah, sometime over the summer. It's happening. It's going to be awesome. All right, what was it? It was a thing not known at compile time, right? What do we get back here? Hi, Dave. We'll be lurking shortly when I start Python homework. Yo, that's awesome. Welcome. I think that's great. Does it want this? Or am I mismatching things together now? Oh, interesting. Huh. Okay. I see the problem. Okay, there's a simple fix for it, but I don't think that's actually what we want. Let me think about this. Yeah, because it still is an arc. Okay, interesting. Hey Dave, curious to know why you prefer to use Vim without the line numbers? I hate the line numbers. I can't stand it. I can look in the bottom right if I want to see what number line I'm on, but I don't know. I don't really jump around with line numbers. I don't know. I like it. I like my Vim simple. What can I do? Set number, is it? Yeah, I just don't like this. It makes it look like it's inside the file. I don't know. I'm weird, I guess. I just think it's too much. Why don't you use shift? I don't know what that is. Or what you're telling me to do there. Do I have some language server stuff running? I think I do. There we go. I just need to actually do any sort of dereferencing it. Okay. All right, so that works, which means if we were able to curl it with -I to view the headers, look at this, we have application JSON now. All right, well, that was a simple fix from last stream. That was pretty easy. All we had to really do was just sort of clone it. Like, that's literally all we do here. The clone is necessary, right? Let me just, for my own edification, let me just do this and see what the compiler says, because I know the clone should be necessary. Okay, perfect, yeah. So that makes sense. So we pull the data out of our shared state, clone it, we do a bunch of copies. Not the most efficient thing, but you know, it is what it is. Now we have that. We've limited how long we've held the lock, which is nice. And then we just return all of those events. So that's cool. Shift curly braces for navigating. I don't know. I think I use those sometimes, don't I? E to navigate between words. Yeah, I do that. I do like W's and E's and stuff. I don't know. I bounce around, like, depending on where I'm trying to jump. Like, I do W a lot. E I do when I'm typically like, I'll do like CTE, change till end or whatever. Like, that's kind of common, or CE. So I do that, but I don't know. W and B pretty much get me around. I've used the curly brace notate. I guess I've never really used it that often. What does the curly brace jump by? What am I jumping by? White space? Blocks of... Is this blocks of white space? If that's what it's jumping by, then I might have to add this to my repertoire, because that's nice. Normally I just do control... What are these buttons? I'm looking at my keyboard. Control Y and Control N, but that's not what it is for you guys. Control B and Control F. I usually do that just to page up and down and then kind of like orient myself. When is the Vim tutorial, Mr. Wiseapp? First of all, I still have a little bit to learn, as you can tell. But that's what I want to work on next. It's jumping between paragraphs. Interesting, interesting. Okay. I'll have to look up what that actually means. But yeah, I wasn't aware of that, because it's... Like, when I jump by pages, that's a lot. And especially for you guys, you can't really tell what I'm jumping by. But when I jump... Yeah, and then I do lines. Oh, man, this is a nice little in-between. I might start using this. Thank you. That's super cool. All right, so we get events here, and then write the event to our internal ring buffer to do make this a ring buffer. Yeah, that makes sense. Dispatch the event to execute. Need a broadcast stream, probably. So I think Tokyo gives us stuff to broadcast, and then return the UUID, if we even want to have some sort of UUIDs. You can't really do much with the events. Once you submit it, it's just like there. We don't really give you a way to get them back. Maybe we might just be over engineering this. We have to pull in the UUID crate here, but let's just throw a new line in here so the curl looks a lot nicer. So if we run this, and we go over here, and we create an event by posting to it, we get this document created. That is way nicer. And then there's all our documents there. Beautiful. All right, so what's next to work on? What do we want this thing to do? Because we get our events back. That's super good. There's probably other stuff we need to put in here. Because when I post an event, the server is aware of when the event came in, but the person who's posting the event is also aware of the timestamp. There could technically be a difference there. So like when the client posts the event and when the server receives the event is 2 different times. We could allow people to post at different times and keep track of both timestamps, like when the event was created on the server and when the event was said to be created on the client. I don't know if that matters. I think we don't allow timestamp. I think we just grab the current time on the server. I think that's what we do. So let's figure out how to do that, because I know we'll need the UUID crate and we will need the chrono crate for time stuff. Do you use something like Lazy Vim or Astro Vim? Because my Vim is not that colorful. I don't even remember what I used for my Vim. It's been so long. Vim Airline and Vim Airline Themes is what I use, which gives me that line at the bottom. That's pretty much it. I don't even remember what half this stuff does. It's been so long. But I think it's the airline Yeah, and I have this airline theme dais, and I turn powerline fonts off. Like I said, this was set up a million years ago, so I don't even remember like what the deal is with that. Just got up here in the UK, and whoa days on writing Rust, grabbing a coffee and settling in. Hey, that's awesome. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, listen, man, Rust is fun. I like it. Rust is a really cool language. Spirit Airlines fit. Alright. I will go with Time Crate, then Chrono. Oh, really? What's the difference? I guess I've always just used the Chrono Crate. Is it better? I don't even know. I guess I could pull up my browser so you guys can see it. Time Crate versus Chrono? I guess I've always just used the Chrono Crate, so I haven't even thought about this. Well, I guess we could take a look at these together. I'm looking at the Time Crate here, which I've never seen before, but let's take a look at it. Okay, it has a Saturday thing, which is super nice. That makes it really nice. Saturday human readable. Interesting. I have to mess around with that for JSON stuff. We'll see if that actually matters. How do we get the current date? That's all I really care about, is what is the date right now. Can this do this, or can this just represent dates? It probably can get time of day, I would imagine, right? Yo, Plankton Counter, thank you for the... Oh my god, the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. That is amazing. The Bash course is great. Dude, thank you. I appreciate that. What a nice thing to say. That's so cool. Thank you for the super chat. That's awesome. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Hopefully you learned something fun with it. And yeah, dude, I appreciate it, man. That's awesome. Oh, we have now UTC. Is this what we want? Do we want offset date time? What do we actually want here? Proleptic Gregorian calendar, dude. It's amazing how little I know about date stuff. Like, in my mind, I just want the number of seconds since January 1st, 1970. Like, that's all I want, dude. UTC date time. Offset date time. Okay, I think we want UTC date time. That seems simple enough, and there's probably a now. There is. All right, so let's try adding this first. Hey Dave, what properties of Rust make it such a cool language? That's so hard to answer the question right now. I won't be able to give you a satisfying answer. I can just say that when it compiles, it makes for super fast programs. I love the type checking, and I think the compiler is a joy to work with. I loved your Bash course as well, by the way. I watched half of it even while I had 2 years experience of Bash using it as a daily driver. That's awesome. Thank you so much, dude. I'm glad you guys enjoy it. That course was the culmination of over 15 years of using Bash, so hopefully you guys learned something new from it. All right, let's go ahead and do this. So, cargo, add time. This adds the time crate. What are the features? We probably want Saturday. So let's go ahead and do that. We may want other stuff. I don't know yet. I think I can do dash features when I add it. I should mess with that, because I always just manually do it by hand, because I don't... It is whatever, you know what I mean? That's not what I wanted. So when we create a new event here, we should add the time property. Created will be a UTC date time. UTC date time, which means I have to pull that in. Use time, UTC date time. There we go. So created will be that, and that means every time we create one, so like for instance, we create here, created will be UTC date time now? Question mark? We'll see. And then when we get events, well, actually we just nothing, we just get them. So this, let's just see if this works. That works. So if I cargo run, beautiful. We go over here. Let's go ahead. Let's get our events. This should be nothing. Awesome. It's nothing. Let's go ahead and post a new event. Message foo level is debug. Created the document. Let's go ahead and get our events back. And look at this. We have a whole created date. This is horrendous. I don't like the way this date was serialized, but it's there. So I'll probably have to look into the ways of serializing it for Saturday. We pulled in the Saturday crate, but there was like some formatting stuff that we could pull in. So we have Saturday human readable. Allows Saturday representation to use a human readable format. This is determined by the serializer, not the user. If this feature is not enabled, or if the serializer requests a non-human readable format, a format optimized for binary representation will be used. Library should never... Okay, that makes sense. So if we just pull in Saturday human readable, I think that's going to be enough. So let's try that. So if we vim cargo.toml... Where am I? I'm in the wrong thing. Okay. And then we go here. That implies all of that. So we can just modify to do this. So this should just recompile. Should be exactly the same. Go over here, cargo run. Go over here. No events. Post the event. Grab the events. Look at this. This is a way more readable and parsable format. I love this. This is beautiful. This is really, really simple to work with. Is that ideal? It seems like just using a Unix epoch time is probably fine. But I mean, this is probably fine. Like and as long as you know from the server that it's a UTC, like this is fine. Feels like the args to a Python datetime. Yeah, it seems like a way more binary like style representation. Yo, Andrew Irwin, thank you for joining the /bin/YT channel membership on YouTube. I don't really offer any special perks on my channel memberships on YouTube. I just turn it on because YouTube was yelling at me, but I appreciate people signing up. I think you get like custom emojis and stuff like that, and your name shows up green when you message. So that's pretty cool. So welcome, dude. I appreciate that. That's cool. Custom format, let format equal format description. Oh, wow. Interesting. So they actually provide a format description macro. That's cute. I like that because I love Rust because like macros like that make it look like it would be evaluated at runtime, but that's evaluated at compile time. Like we can just make sure you give me a good format string. Wait, is it? Why did I just... That might not actually be true. No. I'm combining the two different types of macros now. That function may actually... I'd have to see how that function was implemented, I think, to verify if the format string was valid or not. If it just takes a string literal like that, like the format macro does, then I think it will. But I'd have to double check that. I think that... I don't know. Brain's not working too good. It's after midnight here. May I ask your real name? Oh, man. If you go watch most of my videos, you will find it pretty quickly. So don't worry about that. Go watch my bash course. I say my full name in it, so. Year, month, day is my favorite day format. Same. That's how I do it. I just signed a check today, and that's how I wrote the date. I like that way of doing it better. Dude, your content is worth it. Yo, appreciate it, dude. That's super nice, dude. Thank you. What a nice thing to say. That's awesome. Great thing about Rust, it compiles, it runs, virtually no runtime errors. Dude, I honestly, I love it. Like, Rust is one of the languages where when I get a compiled program, I'm actually, fairly confident in it. With other languages, like when C compiles, I'm like, oh, great. First step's done. Now I get the whole other type of bugs that come with it. Like, that's how I think about it. So, yeah. Now format. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. Okay, cool. But I don't mind. This format is fine. It works for now. We can modify if we need it. Created message level. Of course, we should make level and enum. Maybe we could do that now. No, I said I was going to add the UUID crate. That's what I was going to do next. Getting distracted over here. So I got the UUID crate pulled up here. I think it's just going to be simple enough. Yeah, UUID new v4. That's awesome. Now, is there going to be like a Saturday feature we have to enable? Or maybe it's just internally represented as a large number? Now, that'd be wild. They'd probably have to... If you pass a UUID over JSON, you're passing as a string, right? I feel like it should be a string. I know it's a large number, like 128-bit. Yeah, yeah. But it's like a large... I think it's a string if you were to send that over JSON. I don't think JSON supports 128-bit integers. I have no idea. So let's try that. Cargo add UUID. I always pass as a string. Yeah, same. Like, I think that just kind of like makes sense. There is a Saturday crate, so we might have to pull that in. Let's go ahead and just mess with the code first, and then we'll figure out if we actually need it. I think we need it, but yeah. I plan to learn and use Rust in the next few weeks. Do you have any recommendations, like best resources? I learned from the Rust book. I think it's just called the Rust Programming Language, like the yellow book. I really liked that, but that was 8-9 years ago, so I don't know if it still holds up. I think it does. I imagine it does. But that's how I learned, so that's what I would recommend. I don't know of any more modern things, if that's what you're asking about. I just don't know. Let's put the ID here. So ID will be UUID. I already forgot what it was. Was it like V4? New underbar V4. Okay. And then I'll just need to pull in. This will probably yell at me because it can't be serialized. Yeah. So new V4 found for struct UUID. Do I have to pull in a V4 feature? There is. Okay. Wow. Interesting. So let's go ahead and pull in some features. Actually, let's try this real quick. If we do cargo add UUID, I think it shows all the features. Yeah. Can we do, I think it's this. V4 comma Saturday. Is this right, or do we actually have to pull in get random with it as well? We might have to. Let me look at the cargo.toml and see what it did. Okay, it pulled in V4 and Saturday. Now it's just yelling at me because it wants get random. What am I missing here? Do I need to... I'm gonna take a... I'll take a step back. I'll read chat a little bit. I might need to upgrade Rust on this machine. That's my current hunch. Yo, what's up, Software Deployed? How you doing? Did you know other languages before Rust? Oh my god, yes. Wow, yeah. Rust is one of the more modern languages that I had learned. Before Rust, I was writing a lot of JavaScript, a lot of C, obviously Bash, of course. And before that, I mean, back in the olden days, it was PHP and Python. Pretty much those two. Like, Python was probably the first language that I really, like, went all into. I learned other languages before that. Like, I learned, like, Java and stuff, and, oh, man, there's a lot. Python, I think I wrote my first, like, big program in big giant project. This is like 2010. So yeah. Why aren't you writing in an OCaml? Because I've never written anything in OCaml. The versions are feature gated. There's the RNG rand feature. Oh, interesting. Okay. How is the unemployed life, brother? I love it. Dude, I love it. I don't think I could ever go back. I love not having a 9-to-5 W-2 job. If I can find a way to turn this content creation thing into a job, then I will love it. Don't get me wrong, I get paid AdSense, I get paid on Patreon. I'm thankful for everyone who donates, but obviously it's not the same as like, you know, what I was making. It's not actually sustainable. It's just allowing me to prolong how fun employed I can be. But dude, I was built for this, man. I love it. Python was my first serious language too. Also PHP. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, that's great. My first language was BASIC. My first professional language was Rex. Dude, that's awesome. Oh, man. Python, I never expected that from a Rust and Vim guy. Don't you love curly brackets? Yeah, that's why I probably haven't written Python in like 15 years. I learned it back then, and then I kind of just left it in the dust when I found, you know, other languages. All right, so let me maybe read the docs a little bit before I start doing stuff. It doesn't say anything about get random. It is trying to pull in get random on its own. I don't think I need to add it. It wants get random. According to the terminal, it wants get random 0.4. And it's saying that it found these. Is there not a 0.4? I have to go look at this. It could be a Rust version mismatch. I should just probably upgrade Rust and it might just work, but I'm very curious now. Yeah, see, okay, 0.4.2. Yeah, this is fine. Is it going to be a Rust? Is it going to be a Rust version thing? Is it going to be a what's it called? I don't know. 2018, 2021, 2024. The Rust edition. I got there. All right. Let's mess around. All right, we're on 2024 edition. Okay. Let's try this. So this fails. Let's do a cargo clean, cargo build. I expect it still fail. Okay, yeah, it doesn't even work. How do you upgrade cargo? It's rust up, right? Yeah, and there's rust up self update. It's been so long since I've done this. I think it's rust up self. There should be update. Cool. And then I can do rust up update, I think. Who knows how old my version of Rust was that I was using. Yeah, remembering all the terminology is tough when you use so many different stacks. It really is. Because I know like what it is in my head. Like I have a name, I have a concept in my head, like a platonic concept of what I'm talking about, but I just have to remember the exact name. Like, oh, I'm in Rust. So the name they use here is addition. And some of those concepts don't cleanly map onto other languages, so it can get super annoying. So I'll often find myself like using one term to describe like a different thing in a different language. Like it's wild. I'm definitely a little rusty, I'll give you that. All right, cargo build. Okay, so we're getting the same thing. I must just be missing something obvious here, right? Is it the lock? Like, I don't think it's a feature that I'm missing. What am I doing wrong here? I do have cargo update, but that doesn't do what I think it does. I don't know if I need to add get random, do I? I might need to. But it doesn't seem right. Like I could add it and it would just work, right? But we could just try some things. I'm very curious about this. Because if I just rm cargo.lock, like, let's see what happens. Look at that little progress bar on the top of the terminal. How do they implement that? That's got to be some ANSI BS. That's cute. I might have to make a video on that. Okay, well, sure. So that seemed to work a lot better. I don't know what kind of situation I got myself into. Maybe a cargo update would have fixed it. But interesting. So, how fun. I have the same thing. IRL mapping British, Australian, English to an American context. Fun games. Dude, it's so fun. Like, yeah, like I would have coworkers in the UK and stuff. I would have coworkers in Canada. I'm from the US. And there would be times like, you communicate just fine 98% of the time. But those like 2% differences, like sometimes like they would just say things like, what? Like, bro, what did you just say? And vice versa. It'd be so funny. Probably a side effect of not updating Rust and log file. Let's go with that. That sounds good enough. Love your content from Mongolia, dude. Dude, that's awesome. Heck yeah. Welcome. All right. Let's go ahead and pick some source code now. So 39. It's yelling because ID is not a field. Let's go ahead and add ID here. Pub ID is a UUID. I always do that. I always put too many UUs in there. Cool. Cargo build. Cargo run. Let's get the events. There should be none. Let's post a new event. There we go. Let's get the event back. Hey, that looks beautiful to me. The event now has a UUID. We can't do anything with this UUID. I can't request this UUID back, but we have a UUID. Why would we even want this? Because what's the idea? That you would be able to delete this event or do some sort of CRUD operations with it? I don't even know if I'm implementing that. I think we're going to leave it in here, but I'm not going to let you do anything meaningful with it. I'll give it back to you, but I'm not going to let you do anything meaningful with it. Yeah, because the data structure we're storing in really doesn't make sense to like look for this. This makes sense if we're storing this data in Postgres or SQLite or something. So, yeah. Rust just doesn't jive well with my brain. It would take me a while to adapt it. Yes, that's true. It didn't jive well with my brain. Coming from like doing a lot of like C and JavaScript, it was a complete paradigm shift. Like some people are out there and they're like, oh, I should learn C before I learn Rust. I'm like, I honestly like, what's the word for this? It's like a not a hypothetical, counterfactual. Ew. This is like one of those situations where obviously I'll never know. I can't go back in time. But I really wondered if I never learned C or programming like that and I just jumped into Rust, how much easier would it be? Because I was over here trying to map concepts one-to-one and they do not map at all sometimes. I had to learn a lot of brand new things to make Rust work for me. I love it. I think it's great. I think it's a fantastic language, but yeah, it's super interesting. I would use a V7. Oh, okay. I should take a look at V7 because V4 is just completely random. Oh yeah, I'm getting a lot of people saying V7. Interesting. Let's take a look at that, because I don't know much about V7. I've only ever used V4. Version 7 of UUID is using the Unix timestamp. Interesting. Okay, I wonder if they have more information here, or if I should go look up what like V7 is. If you need to use V7 or V4, okay. Oh, because they both require some sort of randomness. Okay. Is there any information about V7 here? Which UUID version should I use? Wow, they read my mind, dude. If you just want to generate unique identifiers, then consider V4. If you want to use UUIDs as a database key or need to sort them, consider V7. Other versions should generally be avoided unless there's an existing need for them. Haha, interesting. Okay, so V7 is sortable. Hey, that's actually huge then. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. The Bearded Dev says I'm a C# dev for my full-time job, and I connected really, really well with Rust. I tried Go and Zig, and I just never got into them like I did with Rust. Yeah, dude. A bunch of people I know, like after Node.js was kind of falling out of favor and people were going more server stuff 2016, 2017, maybe even a little bit after that, 2018, around that time, people went from the Node.js world to Go. A lot of people like Go, and I just could not get into it. I'm glad I waited a little bit because when I saw Rust, I was like, okay, wait, hold on, this is clicking. Zig, I know it exists. I've just never really given it much time. I don't have opinions one way or the other on Zig, but that's cool, man. Timestamp and random for V7. Okay, sick. Yep. Yo, what's up, NMBB? How you doing? I want to learn a new language, but not sure between Rust or Go. Go seems easier, but Rust is loved by everyone. What do you think about it? I'm going to say Rust. I'm super biased. If you're a relative like beginner to programming, maybe Go would be easier, but I don't actually know. Rust can have some very, very tough concepts, I would say, for beginners, just because of like when it comes to the ownership model and stuff like that. So So, but yeah, I'm sure either one will be worth it. Like they're honestly both cool languages. All right, let's see what we got going on here. So if we do cargo.toml UUID v4, let's change that to v7. It's like an engine. We're just upgrading it in place. And then we did UUID. I think we have get v4. Do you want to bet that v7 just exists? Argument number 1 of type timestamp is missing. Oh, v7 actually takes the timestamp. Okay. Oh, that actually kind of makes sense then. Leave that up to a different crate to handle that. So let's go ahead and find that v7 thing. Oh, there is a now underbar v7. You guys can't see it. I'm looking at the docs for UUID here. And there is a new v7 and a now v7. Interesting. Creates a version 7 UUID using the current time. That is cool. I like that. Let's just do the now v7. That makes our life way easier. That's cool. That's an option though. I like that. I wonder if it's almost redundant to store the created time and the... Okay, hold on. Let's think about this. Because these two lines both get the current date stamp. Do you think it makes sense to get this once and use it to generate both so they are in line with each other? Is getting the timestamp out of a v7 thing even that interesting? Yeah, I think we might want to get the timestamp once and then use it to construct the UUID. I think that's what we want to do here. If you do FFI with Rust, it's endless borrow checker, missing traits. Yes, I've run into that a lot. It's not readable from the UUID. Okay, cool. Thank you. That's fancy. Do you really need to save those 4 bytes? Yeah, it really doesn't make a difference. But we should get the timestamp once. Both these functions running at runtime could technically get different timestamps. There's really no reason for that. So let's just get the timestamp once. So let's do this. Let ts equals this. And then we can say created is ts and ID is new v7 from ts. Now this won't work because the timestamp is not the right time. It expects the Unix epoch time in there. So we'll have to figure out how to do that. We expected a timestamp and we found a UTC date time. So we're gonna have to go from one to the other. This could be problematic. We will see. Because this expects a UUID timestamp, which has a now function from Gregorian. Oh, we're gonna have to. Oh, it's gonna be super annoying. Speaking from PTSD, trying to reuse something that wasn't isolated as a DBID. Mistakes were made. Yeah, man. What are you using for HTTP and Rust here? We're using Axum, AXUM. All right. So we have to figure out how to get that in a way that makes sense. So there is a from Unix time, from Unix, from Gregorian time. So that means we then have to go over to the Rust crate and figure out how to, or sorry, the time crate, and then figure out how to output that in a way that makes sense. We have a UTC datetime, and we can as all these different things. I wonder if we could just merge one into the, from, there's probably no from between these two. There might be, I don't know. I also shouldn't be streaming this late because I'm a little bit tired, so I don't know if we're going to get the best code out of me. Why do you need the timestamp field in the struct given you have v7? I just want to have the timestamp. If someone requests the event, I want to know when that event came in. Wow, there's so many different things here. This is crazy. Dude, date stuff is an absolute rabbit hole, man. This is wild. This is why I deal with everything as just Unix timestamps, dude. I love a good Unix timestamp. I couldn't tell you what's old-fashioned for web HTTP servers. There's no rhyme or reason. I'm just kind of using some ones that I came across. Here is what I'm thinking. We can turn this to a Unix timestamp, which is an I64. We'll lose the nanoseconds. Oh, no, we can keep the nanoseconds with an I28. Okay, that's funny. And from the Unix time takes them as... I don't know, it's two different things. Interesting. Now I'm just getting sidetracked here. Because I'm like very curious now if I just like... Yeah, if you just have this, like, can I get the timestamp out of it? Probably not. All right, here's what we're gonna do. You guys ready for this? We're gonna leverage a concept here called technical debt to do this. Reuse the same timestamp. And then for here, we can just say now v7. So we're going to get the timestamp twice. It's way less than ideal, but that's what's going on here. So we should return the UUID, shouldn't we? Yeah, we can actually just return the whole event object. It's a lot of round tripping. But I actually kind of like it. I kind of like this actually. If we just return the whole event itself, we do relinquish ownership here, so we have to clone it. But that could be good. But yeah, so we have technical debt, but that's fine. The reason we're making technical debt, I'm not even kidding, this is a good learning experience here. I'm tired. I'm not going to be writing the best code. So instead of trying to solve every little problem, I'm leaving a comment for myself. This is a comment for the next guy. This is a comment for Dave in the morning. Okay, right now we're just plowing forward, and every little mistake we make, we put a nice little to-do. Then we get rid of all the to-dos. We should have a good piece of software. Should. So we'll see. All right, so I don't want to return the whole UUID. I actually just want to return an event, I think. I think I want to return the new event that we created. You give us information, we give it back to you. So I want to return the JSON of the event. Now, I think this will fail because we've given ownership away here, where we've pushed it onto the array. I think we've relinquished ownership, so I think we will have to do a clone here. Yeah, look at that. It's literally, okay, wow. There we go. So let's push event.clone. So we'll clone the event on there, and then we'll return the event back here so Axum can handle serializing it for us. Wow, that progress bar that shows up underneath my terminal here is super distracting. I really dislike that. I might change that. I also want to look into see what ANSI escape codes they're using to make that little green bar show up. Did you guys see that? Like, I'll run a cargo clean, cargo build. Look at that blue line going on the top of my terminal. So there's some sort of ANSI, that's my theory, some sort of ANSI that has a progress bar built in. One, I should make a video where I show how to do that from Bash. But two, I might want to disable that in my terminal because it's very distracting. Three, I kind of want to do something fun with that. Imagine that, but it's like visualizing an MP3 player, like, you know, like a volume blaster or something. Turn it into a game or something. I'm thinking of way too many ideas, but, you know, I'm recording this video, so at least I'll have these ideas for later when I want to deal with them. Yo, what's up, Seeknay? How you doing, man? Welcome, welcome. All right, let's cargo run this. Let's go over here. get a list of our events. There should be none. Awesome. Let's post a new event, and it will return the new event to us. So if we pipe this bad boy to JQ, look at this. We created the new event. It returned us the event that it created. It gave us a UUID. It gave us the timestamp. It took our message, and it took this. So this will be our UUID, 019, blah, 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 77. So now when I do this, look at this, 019, blah, 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 77. And then we have the exact same data here. So that is beautiful. Perfect. Amazing. Oh, what's that escape sequence? Closing brace, 94150. And then what is, oh man, what is the \A character? What even is that? Well, show me that anywhere. It won't show me that in the printf. Which one is \A? I don't even know if I know that one off the top of my head. Bell? I thought B was Bell. No, you're right. You're right. B is backspace. A is alert, which is Bell. You're right. It's so weird how many OSC style ANSIs close with the Bell character. It throws me off. 94150. I'm guessing 50 is the progress. So let me look this up. All right, light mode jump scare. There's so many. iTerm 2 docs. Wow. Progress bar. Progress bar can be controlled using operating system command 9 with a leading parameter 4. 9 for stpr stop. St specifies the state. 0, 1 set the progress. To that, set the error state. Set indeterminate state. Animates horizontally. Oh, that's cute. So you can just start it. Set a warning state with the PR. Interesting. Wow. Okay. These are wild. We've completely gotten sidetracked here, but now I'm curious. Ew. Okay. It's not ew. I'm just being a hater. Okay. It's kind of cute. I feel like we could use this to like make some crazy animation, right? Oh, that's so cool. 1 and 2 looks like the only difference here. So if we set this to 100. Oh, it even, oh wow, our terminal animated that. Did you see that? The terminal handles the animation. That's crazy. We don't need the new line. We can put a sleep here. And then we can wrap this whole thing in a while true. That's horrendous. That is horrendous. I love it. What were you just reading here? It's the iTerm 2 documentation for proprietary ANSI escape sequences. This is beautiful. Knight Rider, yeah, exactly. Dun, 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 dun. These streams make me love programming in my terminal more than anything. Thank you. Dude, what a nice compliment, man. That's awesome. I'm so happy to hear that. That's sick. Any reason not to use a Tokyo channel? For what specifically? We will be using that. I just haven't even got to that part of it yet. Wow, this is crazy. Dude, yeah, this is going to be the Bash Christmas Tree 2026. How wild is that? This is crazy. All right, what else can we do? Show the indeterminate error state, 942, and there's no progress. Oh, I didn't have to put 100 there. I could do this. Interesting. Sure. Okay. Clear the progress bar. Wow. This is so interesting. There's so many codes here. Wow, there's so many ways to make programs vulnerable. Good morning, good sir. Have a fun stream tonight. Yo, appreciate it. Thank you. Good morning to you. Good night to me. We'll stream for a little bit longer. These are some wild status codes. ANSI escape sequences. That's silly, dude. You could totally do some like weird things. I don't know what you would do with this, but like you could do some weird things. I'm gonna have to sleep on this and figure out what other stupid things we can do. But this is like surprisingly fun. Oh, and then it just hangs around there. That's fun. So does anyone remember how to clear it? I think you just do 0. Nice. I'm glad that just worked exactly how I thought it would. That's so funny. Ending the sequence with a bell makes my head hurt. So yeah, it's so weird. A lot of sequences end with a bell. Even the reset command that I went over in my latest video, tput reset, pipe it to xxd, you can see that it has a bell character somewhere in it. Oh, you know what? This is on my Mac. Hold on. Going to Linux, tput reset, xxd. Look at this. 07. There it is. There's a bell character. Same thing for some reason. Like, how weird is that? Oh, yeah, I think 1 and 2 are progress, and then 3 is the error one. Yes, this is indeterminate progress. Or no, wait, no, I wasn't supposed to change that, wasn't it? Yeah, I think this one's always supposed to be 4. This one's 3 is good, 2 is error. I don't know what 1 is. 1 is something. That is... I don't like it. Like, I know it sounds stupid, and maybe I just don't like it. I find it distracting. It throws my mind off that I'm looking at the bottom for new output, and then stuff is appearing at the top. And that the stuff is outside of the characters on my terminal. I don't think my program or the terminal... Like, you know what it is? I don't feel like the program I'm running is giving me status information. I feel like my terminal itself, iterm2, is giving me status information. That is true, but that status information is being informed by the command, so it feels wrong to me. I just don't like it. But I'm also a boomer and a hater, so don't listen to me. Apparently there's codes for the macOS touch bar as well. That's sick. That's so awesome. Unrelated to Rust, but do you ever mess with Lisp? Nah, not really. I haven't really. All right. So what do we have here? We have the new... Actually, let's just do this. Cargo Clippy. Let's make sure everything's good. Oh my god, that progress bar. It's so distracting. It's neat. Don't get me wrong. It is neat. But it's weird. I just wonder what we could use it for, you know? Like, what could we do with it that would be really fun? We have the events. We have a UUID. We have the timestamp. That's beautiful. We should probably make it a ring buffer because I don't plan on storing events forever. I plan on this thing being kind of ephemeral. So that's something. I don't want to store these forever. I don't care about these events that much. If you really care about these, we could log these to a file or do something. Dispatch this new event to exec queue. That's where we'll actually use a stream or whatever. So, yeah. This is how we get the events. Nice. Get /ping. We've actually made some pretty good progress tonight, even in this like short amount of time, which is really cool. We've learned some cool things. The UUID, the other thing, time. Nice, nice. Dave, you are not a boomer, 40 at the oldest. I appreciate that. No. I am not technically a boomer, don't worry. I just, sometimes my opinions, people accuse me of being a boomer. I have a weird mixture of like, I'm set in my ways, but at the same time, I very much flow like water. iTerm 2 has an escape code to create a button that will copy text to the clipboard. Sure. That's wild. What else should we add tonight? I want to maybe like add one more feature, right? So we can get the events. Oh, you know what I want to do? Oh, this is probably going to be too many things to do. I do want to add a new feature, but I don't think we're going to do it tonight just because there will be too much stuff. So maybe we'll do a simple one for now. The next feature I want to add, I'll show you guys, we'll get it ready, is we have all these basic stuff down here. I want to have a new endpoint that is get event stream. So we'll be able to get a stream of events. And I was thinking about formats for this. We could do new line separated JSON. I know there is SSE, which is server sent events, and browsers can support that. I think we're going to do that. I think it's built into Axum. So we're going to want that. So let's just go ahead and write what that would look like. Because it's basically just, let's steal this. Async function get event stream. There we go. And we'll take the state. We'll take the, we won't take a payload. We're not actually taking anything. And we will return something. For now, we'll just return nothing. But we'll say like to do return a stream of SSE somehow, connect a live stream. So we're gonna have to do a lot of work to get this to actually work, but we'll do that. So we can just do this for now. Allow unused, is that right? I may have just made up that syntax, guys. I'm gonna be so real with you. I may have just made up that syntax. Dude, I crush it. Oh man, I love making up syntax. I am so good at it. I'm like an AI, but I'm better. I hallucinate things that actually work. Let's see. Get a single event by UUID. Yeah, see, I don't even know if I want that feature. Like that, if that would make sense if I was storing things in a database or I wanted to recall. I don't even really care about that. So maybe in the future we'll add that. Maybe I'll store things in a database. I want to implement what I want, which is ephemeral events. But I have a feeling this project will probably grow in scope and other people might want to use it. So then we'll probably add some sort of persistence database to that. And if we do, then we will want to be able to get an event by the UUID. We'll want to be able to delete event by the UUID. We'll want CRUD operations for the UUID most likely. So, but at least we have this. We have the to-do there. I guess what we can do now is add the enum. So yeah, SQLite, whatever people want to use for persistence. Me, if you guys know me, I'll just log it to a file, and that's as much persistence as I need as a single file. But this would just be historical record. Like I wouldn't really care to filter through these. I wouldn't care if this program has the ability to filter through it. I could just log into the server and look at the log file myself. So we'll figure that all out. But tonight my brain's not working to come up with new ideas. So let's just make some basic ones. We have the level here. So the level here should be an enum of event level. There we go. And an event level will look like this. Enum event level. And the event level will have debug, warn, critical for critical, info, trace probably. I'm just thinking like treat it like log lines kind of. Trace, debug, info, warn, critical. That seems fine. So if we do this, what do we get here? Found string. Okay. So for the payload that we take from the user, this should also be the event level. And it just works. Beautiful. So if we run this over here and we were to post something to it, we put level as debug, all lowercase. It doesn't like that. I think it probably is going to want it to be like this. That's hideous. We'll have to figure out a way to change the casing because I think that's super ugly. That's totally just my preference. But yeah, I don't like the uppercase. I would prefer either they were all uppercase or they were all lowercase. I think all lowercase would be good. I think Saturday has a rename all, and we could do that. But yeah, I'd have to figure that out. Do cargo watch dash X run? Doesn't that just run, do a cargo run, and then like that watches the files for changes, right? And then runs it automatically for you? Like if a file's changed, it'll rerun the command cargo run? Because I would not like that. Yeah, I don't like that. No, I use the same terminal to run the command as I do to change the source code of it. What did I just say I was going to work on? Oh, the names. I think you can do something like this. I think I can do like Saturday rename. Oh, I'm totally making this up. Lowercase. Totally making that up. Totally making that up. But I've used it before in the past. Definitely made that up. I'll have to think about that. Well, I don't have to think about it. I have to just look it up. Saturday Rust. Great. Where are the ducks? Ducks. Oh, you guys can't see this. Hold on. There we go. There was a way to rename it. I know I'm not making that up. That's not what I wanted. I want to search in here. I have to press that search. Sure. Rename. There's going to be a different name for this. If we were to deserialize, it's going to have to be for serialize and deserialize. Yeah. Shouldn't there be something here? Or is it going to be defined somewhere else? What am I thinking of? Yeah, rename all. White light mode jump scare 3, 2, 1. There we go. Yeah, Saturday rename equals this. Rename all equals lowercase. Should not be rename. I swear this was it. This was all you needed, right? Try camel case instead of lowercase. Shouldn't change anything. I could try it, but I feel like something's just not working here. I mean, I should try, honestly, uppercase. Oh, wait, is it because I'm trying to post? You know what? Hold on. I might just be dumb. I was trying to post it with the capitalized name, right? Yeah. Okay, never mind. I was just stupid. I'm just stupid, guys. It's too late. That's what's going on here. Yes, this would have worked. If we run that, that looks fine. Let's go over here. Let's post it. Notice that we are posting it with the uppercase name. Let's change that. Debug lowercase. The post works, and it looks good. Awesome. Then if we run this, we get debug there. Perfect. Beautiful. That's what we wanted. I was just being dumb. Okay, cool. So now we have the event levels, trace, debug, info, warn, critical. That's beautiful. When you make an event, we have a create a timestamp, a UUID for it, the message, and the level. I do want more stuff eventually. So like to do pub, I've used so much nomenclature in the past at different jobs. We have component, we have source, we have program, we have host name. There's so many different things. So, yeah, what's up, Lapis? How you doing? Yeah, we definitely want like component, which would be a string, like my cool program name, or like, you know, something like Nginx would be like an example of a component. Then we'd have like pub user could be a nice optional one, which was like who did this. Maybe we can add an optional one. I don't know. I don't want to overcomplicate this, but we definitely need like a component and maybe just an arbitrary data, which is we should always return something back, but we should accept optional stuff, but we should always return a blank key value, I'm thinking. Yeah, this would just be a JSON value. Yeah, so we could allow the user to store arbitrary data. There we go. So this will be good to-dos. This is stuff we have to work on next stream, but I think we got some good stuff done. We've properly returned data, properly JSON serialized it. We have IDs, we have time. We figured out that random thing. We upgraded Rust. We did some good stuff here. So, yeah. So let's do this. Let's commit day 2. Go ahead and we'll push that. If we do a git remote show origin, then you will be able to see that here is the code. I told you guys I would put the code up. The code has been put up. There it is. So you can check out this code if you want to. Don't bother making pull requests against this code. I'm not going to merge anyone else's code. We're building this on stream as a video. Once this is all done, then of course I'll take pull requests and I'll manage it. But for now, I'm just letting you know, like, because it's in progress, like this is just the code that I'm working on in case anyone was curious about it. So yeah, I think I'll call it there for tonight. I'll jump off stream the next minute or two. But if you guys have any questions or any comments or whatever, like, feel free to dump them in now because, you know, I'm gonna be jumping off soon. Yeah, sorry, Lapis. You jumped in right when I was about to get off. But thank you for jumping in. I appreciate it. Have a good night, Lapis. JSON all day, every day. Dude, JSON is just... JSON has some staying power. It's incredible. Makes sense. JavaScript refuses to die, so why wouldn't the JavaScript object notation refuse to die as well? Good to catch you. Yo, dude, I'm glad you caught the stream. Yeah, so thank you everyone for stopping by, dude. Thank you guys for watching the stream. Ton of fun. And yeah, this is gonna have to go to a day 3, and we'll see what we can do with this code. It's cool. I'm excited for it. I think it'll be fun because I want to have this on my home network where I can have all my components start talking to it and then optionally signal my phone. So yeah, that'll be super cool. All right, everyone. I'm calling it here. I'm jumping off for tonight. Thank you everyone for hanging out. I appreciate it. And yeah, that's all I got. Take it easy, everyone. See you guys.